Okay, I think we are now back to Star Trek Next Frontier episode 201, which means the first episode of season 2. We're in our second session. The episode is titled May You Live in Interesting Times. And I believe the first session was pretty interesting. Some great role playing, some great character moments from everyone. We had the same crew as last time. They survived the commercial break. They're back here for the time being, at least. And before we jump into this next session, David, Commander Frank Drake, Commander. He's a commander now, somehow. Would you mind bringing everyone up to speed of what they missed?
Yep, I can do my best. So, season 2 started off with Lolk on a Klingon battleship hunting down his prey in a very violent manner, unlike his usual self, where he provides hugs for the crew. So, started off very unusual. Myself on the USS Zimmerman on my normal tactical station, chasing down some Jem'Hadar. We're back in the Alpha Quadrant, fighting those off. Spent a while fighting that down, hunting them down before inviting Lolk back onto our ship. But over in the Delta Quadrant, I believe it is, we joined James and Corell on a very familiar ship, the Voyager, meeting Seven, the young Borg, whose name I can't remember off the top of my head, and the Doctor commanding the Voyager, as the crew has apparently gone missing. Quite a lot happening there as well. I'm sure we'll see a lot more there. But back in the Alpha Quadrant, myself, Lolk, and Thadagia, Echeb, there we go, that's his name. Thank you. No, if someone helped me, but yes. So yeah, back in the Alpha Quadrant, myself and Thadagia are on the Zimmerman, spending our happy days before Lolk joins us, as there is a Cardassian ship heading our way, which contains Krell, who, oh yes, it's Weber and James in the Delta Quadrant, not Krell, if I said that, can't remember, but Krell joining us with a special guest who turns out to be the Child Q, who informs us that, really unfortunately, what happened in the little space that we were in was that the crew of the Darwin managed to infect a imprisoned Q, who is now a Borg Q, which is the worst combination of things I've heard in a very long time, so well done, Bill. And we need to do something about it. As a side note, the Child Q decided it would be a really good idea to tell the Dominion and the Cardassians that not only is this the issue of a Borg Q coming to kill us all, but the other way to stop everything is by killing every one of us, as we are the anchors holding this together. And I think that was everything. Oh, and I'm a commander now. Yay!
That is the bulk of it, I would say. Anyone else? Any fine point maybe from your specific part of the story that you recall that you would like to mention before we go on?
Just a few questions. So we are at this point in the story, we're kind of starting to remember bits of our past because we're also remembering this present, correct?
Yes. So you have kind of both sets of memories superimposed on top of each other. So like the life you've been living now, like Krell for yourself, working as part of the Obsidian Order, that has been your life since you were young. You know that very well, but at the same time, you can recall having a completely different parallel life experience that is just as vivid and real as what you know of being a Obsidian Order agent.
Very cool.
Anyone else with something to chime in, or again another question like that? Because it's been a while since we played. It always is.
I don't remember exactly how we left off. We were in the ready room, right? And we were kind of having a back and forth across the table. And I think that's where it ended, if I remember right.
Yeah, on the last session, it ended where Q Junior informed you that also before before the entire Q continu Q Continuum, English is so hard now. Before they got assimilated, his father made him mortal, made him a human, and banished him from the Continuum as a failsafe to try to find a way to reverse this from happening. So that's why he's spreading the word of the different possible ways, or at least trying to alert people of how to stop it. But he said that the Q Continuum also sent out a call for help, and some things are going to be on their way to try to get the job done to prevent this Borg Q from taking over the universe. I honestly don't recall if you mentioned this aspect, David. The last thing the Q Junior said was about how this universe isn't fully formed yet. This is kind of like a pocket that once she's strong enough, it's basically going to enshroud the standard universe that you all had come from and make that permanent. So the job's not done yet. You're in just like you're in the pocket program getting rewritten to become the main universe once this is all said and done. So that's what they're trying to stop. And on the Voyager side, they were heading towards the coordinates that when Mobrin disappeared a few episodes back, he keeps disappearing and reappearing. He had a very incomprehensible message. What little he was able to translate allowed him to get coordinates to Mobrin, do you remember where all 3 points, the three coordinates represented? Do you remember that part?
I think two were the known entry and exit to the wormhole, and the third one was a yet unknown one.
Yes.
But I don't remember what it is.
Yeah, so the entry and exit for Bajoran wormhole, and the third one was just some random point in the Delta Quadrant where he is right now. And they did a scan and they found there was a proto wormhole, like an unstable. It appears to be a proto wormhole. It's not an actual wormhole at those coordinates. And the Voyager was heading in that direction. And they started detecting a whole slew of Borg vessels in the area on patrol and closing in on their location. So that's where we left off on that side as well. Everything good? Okay, then let's jump into the session. We will resume, if I'm going to the right page here, we will resume on the USS Zimmerman, where I need to adjust the size of this. In the conference room, again, reused set from the deGrasse Tyson to save budget on the Paramount lot here. And that is where Q Jr. just started laying out all the information that we just covered. So we're going to pick up there. You just got that first hit of there are major things that the Q Continuum called to help them solve this problem. So take that information for what you will. So who would like to start?
Well, I would very much like to ask the Junior Q, what sort of reinforcements are we expecting then? Who did the Q Continuum call in?
He winces a bit. Well, again, you have to understand how desperate this situation is. So we put a call out to basically any entity, any being of appropriate power level that might be able to eliminate all of you as efficiently as possible. just in case we're not able to do something else to reverse this decision. You have to understand, my father does have the utmost respect for a few members of your species, but we have to make sure that this does not become a permanent reality. I don't think you want to exist in a world where Q, well, that Q at the very least, is the one in command of everyone's thoughts and actions.
If what you say is true, why would a being as powerful as yourself allow yourself to be captured so easily and become a prisoner of the Cardassians?
Well, I wouldn't say I allowed myself to be captured so easily. I was sent as a prisoner by my father to your Dominion overlords. They are not anywhere near as enjoyable to talk to as the Federation, but the reason being is if I remained in the Q continuum, I would have been assimilated instantaneously with the rest of my people. The only way to separate me from that fate was to banish me as a mortal. And now the entire continuum is running, for lack of better term, as one with the Q that you freed.
So we have to fight not only the imprisoned Borg, Q who became a Borg, but all of the Q?
Well, currently all of the Q are operating as the one you freed. She is now the Q Queen, I suppose you could describe it, and they would be considered her mindless drones, similar to how the Borg operate. She is also in control of the entire Borg collective as well, as they have no capability of withstanding her power, as far as I know. But sadly, my information is cut off now that I am trapped in this very limited form.
Krell lets out a laugh and he looks at the Q and he's like, the Borg Collective, the Q, and now basically the Q Collective. What chance do we stand against such a threat?
Well, that was pretty much our conundrum, which is why, even though my father does have or he did, I should say, have faith that the Federation and your mortal, annoyingly persistent ingenuity might be able to come up with a better way, we don't believe you're going to be able to fight off the collective or the Borg that are now under her control, which is why the help that the Q Continuum called out for was designed to destroy you, in the chance that that actually does break the anchor and reset the universe. Again, fingers crossed.
Just to make sure, what happens if we die in this universe and it resets to the old one? Are we dead there as well?
Well, I believe you all died there to begin with, so I'm guessing possibly. Again, I do have to apologize. It is so frustrating to not be in connection with actual real knowledge and just have to use whatever is trapped inside this biological twisted mass inside my head. But I would imagine that you would be dead. Dead seems to be dead for you people.
And whose great idea was it to sick the attack dogs on us before we had a chance to correct it by other means?
Well, that would be a consensus from the entire continuum. We were pressed for time. But if my father did not think so highly of, again, some of you, and I mean the ones I'm familiar with, or will be, or would be familiar with. They were somewhat decent folks. The rest of you, I could, uh, yeah, take it or leave it. But my father does hold some of you in high esteem, which is why I'm here. I'm here to announce. I'm here to give you a chance to, I don't know, work your magic. Think of something.
All right. Do we know where the Borg are? The Q, whichever.
I just outside note, as far as the Borg from the last session, there were the reports and they were passed on to you by Captain, oh God, what's the captain's name again? Henderson, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Whelan Henderson.
Yes, passed on to you in command of your Klingon ship that the Borg, there's basically a fleet of Borg that have set up a perimeter around Federation space, and they're not entering it. They are.
Right, sorry.
Yeah.
I'll rephrase that. So do we know
Sure.
what the Borg Queen is?
The Q Queen. Then Q Junior will answer. Well, no, that's the tricky thing with being a Q. We're everywhere and nowhere at the same time.
Which raises two questions. One, why haven't the Q Continuum Borg just us all away or be here right now? And two, why is she not entering Federation space? A mass onslaught of Borg would probably wipe us out pretty easily, especially with the powers she apparently has.
Well, those are very good questions. Thank you for raising them. I'll be glad to address them in order. First of all, she is rewriting the entire known reality of not just this galaxy, but the entire universe. Even with her ability and Q abilities, and I know he looks at everyone here, we are gods compared to you. Just between us, and especially since you're all probably going to be dead soon, we're not really that powerful. We're more powerful than you, of course. I mean, well, look at you. I mean, look at what I am now. But we don't really have omnipotent powers. It may look like that from your perspective, but it's not quite that. So for her to do this on the scale that she's doing it is requiring a lot of concentration, a lot of energy, and I'm afraid she's not familiar with being in control of the entire continuum at once. So until she reaches her full potential, we have time. I believe that's why she began to assimilate everything outside of Federation space as quickly as possible with her new Borg. But as far as the Federation, her goal, from what we can distinguish, looking at it before I was banished, she is not setting up the Borg to invade and destroy the Federation because she created this world for you. She created this illusion for you. The fact that you're remembering who you are so easily without me even jogging your memories is signs that something is not going as planned. Her Borg are here to defend Federation space from whatever is coming to stop you. So technically the Borg are on your side, but again, if she wins, I mean you're eliminated anyhow. So I mean let's just be fair here. We gotta work against her.
It sounds to me like we can use this secondary force as a diversion that can keep the Borg busy while we try and find the Queen.
What were you saying, Krell?
I was going to say incredibly convenient for the Federation, but what of the Cardassian Union and the Klingon Empire?
Well, I'm guessing that they're going to have. Keep in mind, They have their own allies as well, but they are going to be enemies of the Borg because I did tell them before I was handed off into your custody that we have to kill some specific members of the Federation for this to go back to normal.
Okay.
Well, Captain Commander, I relinquish this prisoner to your custody as ordered. The Cardassian or Obsidian Order would recommend we hold him as a prisoner as a bargaining chip, but I leave these decisions up to you, and we'll follow your lead.
Captain Henderson just looks completely overwhelmed by what's happening. He'll speak up, look to Thadasia. Commander, are there any signs that we're being manipulated? Are there any signs that at least your memories, since those of you here seem to be part of this story, is there any indication that there is some sort of medical explanation or physiological explanation for what is happening here?
Or what I've been able to gather, based on the preliminary scans, is that obviously something is off. You know, our signatures are out of tune with this reality. Any more than that, I am uncertain of.
So what this Q is saying could very well be the truth.
He is a Q, but it is quite possible that he is, in fact, telling the truth.
All right. Well, that's a little concerning. If you will excuse me, I'm going to have to contact Starfleet and see if I could get any more information about what is happening with the Borg around the perimeters of the Federation and any advice on how I should proceed going forward with this. If you all wouldn't mind excusing me for a moment, I think I can trust you to remain my first officer, Commander Drake.
Yes, sir. We'll stay here for now and keep the prisoner
Thank you.
in check.
And if anything changes, please contact me immediately if I'm not back before then.
Yes, sir.
I'll be in my ready room. He excuses himself.
And that sigh was both me and Greg.
Q speaks up. I know this is a lot to put on such small individuals such as yourself, but I do highly recommend we come up with some sort of plan. I don't think waiting here is going to do us any favors.
I'll agree with you there. Do you have it?
Me? Well, if I was able to think on such a limited scale, I probably would have been able to prevent this from happening in the first place, but Father always said that the Federation types are tricky and very clever creatures, and again, my godmother, she proved that to be true on a number of occasions, so I'm just sent here as the messenger. I could hopefully steer you in the right direction if your idea sounds like it's going to make things even worse, but I'm at the mercy of your very minuscule collective intelligence.
Question. You said that we're being protected from something as a Q, what do you know of that might be that significant of a threat that we need to be protected from, even by the board?
Well, again, I may be giving away a little more than I'm allowed to, but since my bosses no longer exist, I don't think I'm going to face too much repercussion for this. But the Q, again, we are not so different from many of the other species out there, and we are, I would say, we are similarly cousins with a lot of other species and entities out in the galaxy and universe at large, very much like how the majority of you humanoids here in this galaxy were all sort of seeded and planted by the same progenitor race ages ago. We too are connected with many other powerful beings, some of which became so powerful that they wiped themselves out. Some became so infuriatingly wrapped up in their own greatness that they ascended to other levels of intelligence. They did not contain the, I would say, the style and the dedication of the Q to remain as perfect as we are. But there's many avenues and there's many routes to the different species that we know, and it was just a general call for whatever powerful machinery, whatever powerful beings, whatever powerful weaponry you might have, to converge it on Federation space. And unfortunately, I was banished from the collective before I know if any reply was received.
So, on top of fighting a Q that's now a Borg that has assimilated the rest of the Q, we also have to fight a whole bunch of other Q who add the Q.
Well,
those are our enemies.
From what I know, and again, this is speculation on my part, but please, since you're so full of questions, just hear me out. I don't think that the Q who did this to you, the Q Queen, as it were, for lack of a better word, since you can't distinguish between me saying which Q is which, I don't think she expected you to be awakened from this new life she had given you. I mean, look at you. You are succeeding here in the Federation. You are commanding officer of a great starship in the Federation. I'm assuming it's great. They all look the same to me. Look at you, Dr. Blue. I wish I would have remembered your name first, but you were, as far as I can recall from my father talking about what's happening, you were disgraced as a medical professional where you came from. But look, you are one of the most renowned names here in the Federation. And you, Captain Klingon Man, you're in command. You are a warrior in charge of your own Klingon vessel, just like your father would have wanted for you, and not the first officer of this very, very ship that got it destroyed, many of its crew complement killed, and your career sent on a downward spiral in Starfleet. And look at this Cardassian over here. Look at this. Not much has changed for you, has it?
It's your tongue, Q.
Yeah. Cardassians, no fun. So I don't think she expected you to wake up from this. I think she expected you to just enjoy your lives. Go about your business and succeed. Be the things you always wanted to be, so that you would not put up a fight.
And why would she not want us to put up a fight?
Because you're the anchors. You're the anchors. If you don't go quietly into the night, if you just stay, do your thing, enjoy your life, stay as you are going to allow her to overwrite the universe as you know it. It's what's called a liminal membrane, and it's a bit beyond your science right now, but it is similar. It's, I guess you could phrase it as a type of cosmic quantum superposition where both are existing simultaneously, and it's just going to matter which one is the final one that's seen when this Pandora's box opens. And that's going to become permanent. If you anchors stay in place long enough, she'll have enough power to wrap around the entire universe and make it hers. And then she's not going to need you anymore.
Well, at least up until that point, she can't kill us, so there's an advantage.
Well, she can't kill all of you, but yes, I hear what you're saying.
Okay, slightly concerned she doesn't need all of us, but we'll ignore that for now. And you said she's obviously rewriting the universe takes quite a bit of concentration. What happens if she gets distracted?
What's happening?
Does it start to unwind?
Well, I've never seen this done before, but I couldn't tell you.
Helpful.
Thank you. That's why I'm here.
Krell looks over at the commanders and he's just kind of like, how do we even begin to proceed in this situation? The odds are against us in every way.
Seems that we have a lot of Borg ships to blow up. I like the sound of this.
Kind of agree with the captain on this one. I think potentially the first thing we need to do is find out where the Borg Queen currently is, because there's not much we can do here anyway. Is there any way to identify where she could be? Anything that would make her stand out compared to normal Borg? Is she hidden in the ether as Q do?
Q Jr. just shrugs.
No way we could even get close to her without a stealth ship or an armada.
I mean, I just gesture towards Captain going, we have a stealth ship. Oh, no, wait, Klingons don't have stealth. That's the Romulans.
No,
Klingons do. Yeah, they do, yeah.
They do.
I remember them appearing now. Yeah. So I just kind of gesture towards the captain going, stealth ship.
So, if we are the anchors holding this in place, then perhaps the idea is to deviate from any normal plan that we might go about. This would cause perhaps significant distraction on her part.
You mean stop living the lives that she created for you?
Correct.
Interesting.
To do the thing that we perhaps normally wouldn't do.
And
Any
what would that
ideas in
be?
particular?
Quite enjoy this life. But it might not hurt to get the old gang back together.
It is true.
Question there is, where's the rest of the gang?
That is a good question.
Ship. Does it even exist?
That's another
Krell's
good
kind of
question.
Back and forth thing between Cardassian Krell and Federation Krell right now in his head. He's like having an internal back and forth.
Perhaps
There's a terminal in this room, by the way, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, then whilst you're talking, Drake's gonna go over and start searching on the console where the Grass Titan is, as well as any of the crew whose name he can remember. There should be a lot of security.
Okay. So you go over to the console and you're plugging around that. Any other comments anyone is saying as he's looking that up?
I believe we might be able to play both sides of the coin on this. Perhaps we can take advantage of both our new positions and we still return to our natural positions, so to say. In that light, I will contact the Klingon fleet to try and muster reinforcements to bolster our numbers. Because as Commander Drake has said, I do have a stealth ship, and perhaps we can have quite a few more.
Yes.
So I will, I will, as soon as we're done with this, head back to my ship to contact my superiors.
Okay, and then Drake, your research on the terminal comes up. You see that the USS DeGrasse Tyson was actually never launched, but it's stationed at the Starfleet Medical Station in orbit of Earth. And it is, although it's not a commissioned ship out on a mission, you see it is registered under the captaincy of Captain Savek.
Well, it's nice the captain's around, because I don't know that. I think first thing to do would be to contact the captain. Well, let the Federation know everything that's going on and come up with a plan with everyone together. We need to find the Q Queen first and foremost, I believe.
Okay.
Agreed. That is too, if they buy our story.
Krell was going to say he should probably report to his people too, but he doesn't know. The Federation side of him doesn't know if it'll make things better or worse.
Did he say that out loud? Because I have something to say to him if he did.
Yes, he did. He said that out loud.
Okay, well, in that case, Krell, I would suggest you stay with us for the reason of if the Dominion and the Cardassians in general are not on our side at the moment, if Junior Q is to be believed. So if they realize you're one of the anchors, I doubt you're going to live too long. When you are muted, I just imagine him going.
He's going to take that into consideration. He's going to just sit there and deep in thought for a little bit.
Okay, and just at that moment there, I am spending 2 points of threat.
Oh.
Taking us down to what I'd like to call 8 points of threat left in the pool. Hang on 1 second. Let me just... I tried to navigate the new what's it called? The new Roll20, because nothing I need is ever in the place where I think it is anymore. But anyhow, the door opens and Captain Henderson, right?
Henderson, yep.
I know the name, but every time I want to say it, my brain says that's not it. And it's like, I'm sure it is, and my brain just insists it's not. But anyhow, Captain Henderson, which is his name, he comes into the room, and he is flanked by 2 excessively short security guards that are growing there right now. He's flanked by 2 security guards of the USS Zimmerman. They have their phasers drawn, and they are pointed at you, Krell.
What's
And
going on here?
as of 10 minutes ago, the Dominion has launched a massive assault on all of our borders along their space. Until we know exactly what's going on, the fact that you found us here in our secret rendezvous does not bode well for you, and we don't really know what intentions this young man has as well. It's going to be in all of our best interests if you were confined to a space where we could watch you more carefully, Mr. Krell.
I guess that's a tacit okay.
Any
Will I be
comment?
allowed to?
Yo,
Will I
yeah.
be allowed to send communications to my people, or am I just going to be taken prisoner immediately?
We would prefer if you do not go anywhere near the communications array for the duration of your stay here until we're sure exactly what your intentions truly are.
Well, one half of me wants to let you know you'll regret this, but the second half will allow it for now. Do what you must, Captain.
A wise choice. As for the rest of you, he looks towards all of you in the room. We are being recalled back into combat. I want the ship prepared for combat duty immediately, Commander. He looks at you, Drake. And Locke, he turns to you. The Klingons are going to be joining us on this, and I hope we can count on you to be at our side yet again.
Klingons never back down from a fight.
Very good. We got a whole lot of Jem'Hadar to go up against very soon.
What of my shuttle, Captain? Will it be brought on board?
Your shuttle is small enough, and this is a Nebula class, so yes, we'll have it brought aboard, and it is going to have to be thoroughly inspected as per Starfleet regulations, which I'm sure you know since, according to this man here, you are also a Starfleet officer somehow.
Understood.
Thank you for understanding. Now, if you will please follow these gentlemen, they will escort you to your new residence on the ship for the time being, and hopefully, if your story is true, we'll be able to have a little more beneficial interaction in the future.
Others, and he's like, I'm sure I'll see you again later, gentlemen. Till next time.
See you soon, Krell.
And they escort Krell out of the room. While you all think about what's going to happen currently, I would like to jump over to the Voyager. Is that okay for everyone?
Let's do it.
Okay, Krell, thank you for that. I mean, please stay as long as you can, but probably we're not jumping back into the Zimmerman scene before you have to go. So I just wanted to give you an out for the rest of the episode, which doesn't involve killing you, right?
Yeah, you just threw me in the brig. I thought we were friends, but that's cool.
I didn't use the word brig. I just said
I'm just messing
other
with you.
accommodations. It could be a nice crew quarters somewhere. We'll figure that out later. Okay.
Yeah, but yes, I'm gonna stay and watch the last 15 minutes before I have to go.
Okay, cool. So let's jump over to Voyager. Lieutenant James, Lieutenant Weber, thank you for your patience in letting us get Krell's scenes taken care of beforehand, but now it's time for you to take center stage. So we are going back to the Voyager if and only if I can find it. Okay, we are going back. Okay, surprise, we're not going back to Voyager. I don't know where it is anymore. Okay, there we go. There we go. So Voyager Bridge. Can you all see that? Did it load?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good, good, good. So, back on Voyager Bridge, same thing. I think James was probably going to be heading to engineering, I think you said at the end of the last session. But I don't know if that is entirely accurate yet, or if you said you were going to stay at the bridge engineering station. Which one was it?
When the Borg arrived, I said I'll head down to the engineering and stepped onto the turbo lift.
Okay.
And we left it with her going, which deck was it on?
That's right. That's right. Okay, so she is currently not on the bridge. She's we could assume she got to engineering by this point. So how's that? So we'll just put her off in the void for right now. But currently on the bridge, you have 7 of 9 at the tactical console. You have Icheb piloting at the con. The emergency command hologram is in the captain's chair, and Lieutenant Weber is at the science station or ops station on the bridge. The ECH looks over to you, Weber. Lieutenant, what are the Borg doing?
Yeah, what are they doing?
Let's do a little scan and just try, because I forgot one momentum drains away from the scene change, so you're at 4. So let's do a level 0 scan just to get some momentum going, and you can start asking questions with the momentum scan as usual. So can you please roll that?
Yeah.
Oh, and you know what? That's another thing I forgot to do. Apologies, everyone. I was going to put a ship sheet for the Voyager, and I don't think I did, to help with the rolls on that. So if somebody would just like to roll a single d20 in support, who would like to do that?
Would that be on main sheet or the...
I don't think I even have the Voyager on there, so I just need anyone to just roll a single d20. So you could just do like task roll 1, but it probably won't even. I don't even know if it can work with your character sheet. So like just a regular dice roll could be good, like just a regular d20 roll. Hang on a second. I'm going to get the stats for the Voyager here. And
do that in roll 20 itself / roll 1d20. There you
go. It's a 0 difficulty thing. So, oh, for crying out loud! How many times do they mention the word Voyager before the ship is actually shown? You gotta be kidding me. Okay, hang on. There we go. Thank you. All right, so Voyager sensors and science is 12, so anything 12 and under is going to be success. So what do we have here?
We have a 6.
We have a 6. Thank you, Drake. So that is going to be 1 success. And Weber, did you do your roll?
No, it would be control and science. Right?
Yes, sir. That's fine.
Okay. Does my combat tactics focus help?
In this case, I think it would, because you are definitely under threat. So I would say so.
Yeah. Okay.
And we got that. And I can see it on the OBS screen. So yeah, that's good. So wait, something's wrong there. Hang on a second. Something doesn't look right, I should say. Maybe instead of wrong. What is...
That was a task roll 1, I think.
Oh, yeah. You'll have to roll...
Yeah.
You'll have to... Hang on. So you rolled... You'll have to roll 1 more.
Yeah.
And you rolled another one. So you rolled 2 successes both times. So 4 successes plus 1 from the Voyager. So that is 5 successes on a 0 on a 0 difficulty roll. So you're maxed out at your 6 what's it called? Your 6 momentum again. You have 3 extra momentum that is just going to vanish unless you use it for something. And Weber, as the science officer, you also gain 1 bonus momentum for asking questions anyhow. So you basically have 4 momentum that's going to disappear, 1 that is going to be for asking questions, and the other 3 could be more questions or establishing a advantage or something like that. As for, sorry, let me actually tell you what your scan picked up. So the Borg ships, there are, again, quite a number of Borg ships moving into range. As you're scanning more, while they are approaching, they don't seem to actually be homing in on you like you originally thought. It's just they're all swarming in the area and you happen to be in the area. But it doesn't look like they are all targeting the Voyager itself and coming towards Voyager. But you are sort of swimming into this fleet of, I don't know if fleet's the right word, they're not really that closely packed, but this large grouping of ships patrolling the area. So they don't look like they're actively scanning for you on Voyager, but there are quite a number of Borg vessels in the area, is what you can tell. And that's between you and the destination point of this proto-wormhole.
Okay. Yeah, I pass that on. So we're not in the middle of them, or they're just between us and the...
Yeah, they're basically coming into the area that you, the Voyager, intends to go through.
Okay. Think of any specific questions? Does the captain ask anything else?
He's just waiting for your information of like what the threat level is. So yeah.
I'm just. Yeah.
So anything else that you in particular would like to scan for? And again, like James too, if you have an idea too, I mean, feel free to collaborate your ideas, even though your character's not on the bridge, but this is sort of out of game thinking in case there's something you would want to know in this situation.
Is there a path that we could take to get to the proto-wormhole with minimal interference?
Yeah, is that a question I could ask?
Oh yeah, you could be scanning the direction for this. So yeah, they're well, of course, you knowing where they are and the fact that they're not coming after you, it wouldn't be extremely difficult to plot a course, and that again, that could be what 2 points of this extra momentum you have could be used for, saying an advantage for calculating the safest trajectory through them.
Yeah, might be the best idea, because I guess we are slightly overpowered.
Yeah. You want to do that?
Yeah.
Okay. You'll still have 1 more momentum that's floating around if you want to use that for another question, yeah.
Maybe the classical question for weak points in case we have to fight them.
Okay. I would say instead.
I mean, probably the ships that we are most likely to encounter if there's a fight.
Yes.
So maybe the 5 to 10 ships we might meet.
Okay, so basically wanting to know if it did come down to fight, which ones do you stand a better chance against? Like, where should you be?
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to be stuck between like the intersection of 4 cubes when you could have like a single sphere, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. yeah, looking at that, I'll say that you use the data you get from there and add that into the calculations for the trajectory to go. So not only like the safe trajectory, but adding to that the ships that you would be closest to in your course would be the ones with the least firepower, which again for the Borg is still pretty massive, but it gives you a better chance.
Okay.
So yeah, you'll go
And,
towards the smaller vessels.
Yeah. And are they spread wide enough so that I mean, would there be any point that we could have all the entire fleet on our tails? Or are they so widely spread that you will never encounter all of them?
They're pretty widely spread. They're pretty widely spread out, so they're not actually moving like a fleet. That was a poor choice of words on my part. It's just a large number of vessels passing through this sector.
Ah, okay. Mm-hmm.
So, best trajectory. Hang on, just making note of your advantage. So again, while it is the better trajectory and it's going to give you the better advantage while you're navigating the course, it doesn't guarantee it's safe. It just means that that's your best bet. The CMH looks to you, says, "Well done, Lieutenant. I think that will be as good as we can get for the time being, but I do have to ask, this proto-wormhole, we've discovered that those coordinates that you somehow received, do you think that that is going to lead us back to Earth?"
We can only hope so. The circumstances under which I even got these coordinations are so weird and inconceivable. I really don't know, but it's the only chance we have, I would say.
Well, compared to being stranded out here in the Delta Quadrant with a missing crew, I'd say that that might be our best bet, no matter where it may lead.
It can't get worse, I would say.
He kind of winces when you say that. It's like I've taken an unfortunate habit of noticing that when some members of the crew say things like that, it tends to get worse. So if you wouldn't mind, Lieutenant, I would appreciate if you would refrain from making such comments while I'm still in command here. Feel free once Captain Janeway returns, however.
I apologize, sir.
You just hear like a sigh and see Seven rolling her eyes when this superstitious commenting goes on. He turns to Seven and tells her to head down to engineering to assist with the other hologram. So, tell me, Lieutenant, the CMH continues with you, Weber. Tell me, Lieutenant, what can we do here on this ship with such a small crew? How can we get through a wall of Borg such as this and still intend to get back or get some kind of help, anything, to help us either fight back or return our crew or get home, get somewhere safe? Has there been any advances in Federation technology? Anything you could give us? Anything that can help?
Speaking as a player, I would probably be better suited to answer the question if I had watched the whole of Voyager, because I really wouldn't know what to say.
Hey, make it up. That's what it's all about. It's not like you have that technology with you anyhow, so even if it existed,
yeah,
you don't really have to use anything. So make up your own version. What do you think?
Oh, can I do that with a task roll?
You don't have to. You don't have to. It just you could just exercise your imagination, or you could just say there's nothing. I mean, it doesn't really matter. Just your
Yeah, the
choice.
thing is, I'm working on 2 hours of sleep.
I know. I apologize for that. We'll just say, technically, there really isn't that much more. I mean, they do have like quantum torpedoes getting more standardized in the Alpha Quadrant, but aside from that, there's not really a whole lot against the Borg that the Federation has that Voyager itself doesn't have.
Yeah.
Technically.
Okay, I'm sorry. I guess you expect me to role play and
no. Hey, I'm just throwing out the opportunity. You do what you want with it, sir. You're going to.
Yeah, so I pass on whatever little my character might know.
Okay.
That's kind of comforting in this situation.
Okay, well, I don't think that information does us any good out here, but it's good to know some advancements are being made along these lines. Now, the next big question, Lieutenant, if you can even answer, is once we reach this proto-wormhole, what does that mean for us? Do you have any idea how we could use it to our advantage? I'm afraid I don't know much about proto-wormholes myself, and if you've never seen the thing on your own, I don't even know if you have any idea what to expect.
I honestly don't. I think we just have to fly in there and see where it leads us. I have no idea what. Like I said, I'm still thinking of a natural explanation for me even getting these coordinates. I still don't know how they came to me.
It is unusual.
So, yes, very.
And as well as
a matter of fact, we still don't even know if they mean anything. We have to get there to see if there's even anything to it.
Well, I would imagine there has to be something to it. You guessing the location of a wormhole in the Delta Quadrant when you haven't even been here for more than an hour. Not to mention the fact that you're irradiated with Verteron particles.
Yeah, that's another thing.
Well, let me be perfectly frank with you, Lieutenant, here. This is also my first time being in command of a starship, so I'm afraid I don't really know exactly what I need to be doing right here and right now. And as you are the senior-most Starfleet officer after myself, I hope I can rely on you to be my number one, as it were.
Thank you, sir. I'll do what I can. Maybe, we do have a plan now, so I would suggest we follow through.
Good idea. Good idea, Lieutenant. Very well. Let's continue on the course that you have plotted for us. Mr. Ichab, please continue the course as planned, he says with intending to sound more confident than he is. Anything else?
Sir, may I ask?
Yes, please.
I'm pretty I would say knowing in photonic application and everything that has to do with holograms. You seem to be rather, let's say, emotional for a hologram. I'm wondering your level of consciousness. So any way to describe it, because I've honestly never seen a hologram that would, in this situation, switch off any fears or anxiety. And they seem to be a lot more human than any other hologram I've encountered before.
The ECH stands up and he looks at you with eyes full of pride when you say you seem to be human. So.
The way I see it in sickbay, there's a bit of a, well, kind of I would say, intended, don't take this the wrong way, quirkiness in your programming. But I would would expect in a situation like this that it would be switched off, because, again, no offense, but it might be a bit of a problem when it comes to really dangerous situations.
Oh, well, no offense taken, Lieutenant, and may I say that it is quite an honor to have somebody actually this interested in my programming and what I've achieved in all my time here as, if I may be allowed to boast, the Chief Medical Officer of Voyager. I don't know if too many holograms would be up to the task, but I think that maybe you, as well as many other, no offense, biological organisms, are not able to understand exactly what it's like to be a holographic consciousness. I notice your associate here, also a hologram, seems to be quite emotional as well. She seemed rather human until I scanned her, so I'm assuming that whatever this technology that she used to create her body from that species she mentioned must also be highly, highly respectful towards holographic life forms such as myself. Maybe I should tell you a little bit about my history here. And he starts going on to.
Sir.
Yes.
I think there'll be plenty of time once we are out of the situation. I'm just, I probably shouldn't even have asked. I would say, in this rather the tense situation that we find ourselves in, we should probably first try to get out of it before.
Yes, of course.
In these personal matters.
Of course, you're absolutely right. I'll be sure to get back to you on that when we have the time, Lieutenant. But just so you are reassured, let it be known that this is not my first time in danger, and I am actually considered quite a brave member of the Voyager crew.
Yeah, that's probably the way I should have asked.
Very well. Okay. Shall we resume our course then?
Yes, please.
Let's do it. And then let's cut down into engineering, if I can. And I'm going to reuse. The engineering set from what's it called? From the deGrasse Tyson, because it's similar enough to Voyager, I think, if you don't mind me saying so. Or wait a second. Oh no, wait a second. I do have this. We're good. Yeah, we're good. Never you mind. I could just use this. Yeah, this will be fine. Don't worry about what it looks like in the picture. As I say all the time, and I want to make this perfectly clear, the images we use on here are for reference and don't exactly represent what you are seeing in the scene at that same time. Is everyone okay with that? Is everyone good with that? Is that no problem? Okay, so
yeah.
So once you see, here we go.
As long as you don't give me a Klingon engineering room, that's fine.
Nope, not Klingon engineering, but all those people you see drawn into the background are not there. Okay, so ignore them. I didn't make the picture. They're gone. The ship's empty. Those are ghosts right now. So, again, you're in the empty engineering. That's what it looks like. It's empty. You get it? Empty. All right? And James, you're down in engineering when 7 is going to come down to assist you. But what are you doing in engineering? Once you found your way there, what are you doing before she gets to you?
All right, so I'm probably going to be at the console right next to the warp core.
Okay.
And so what I'm doing is, checking out the systems, making sure that, everything's working as it should be at optimal efficiency. And while I'm doing that, I'm having a little chat to the warp core, to the ship itself. Being, quirky engineer, James is, Look, I'm not your normal engineer. I know, we'll try and get them back. But I need you to be good for me. We've got some Borg coming in. We've got to get to a wormhole, hopefully through it. You be good for me, and I'll make sure we try and get you home. With your crew, if we can. And she's sort of saying that, and, a few other things while she's tapping away there at the console. Like I said, just making sure everything's everything's good.
Okay, as you're doing that, you hear from the side of you someone clearing their throat. I hope I'm not interrupting you, Lieutenant.
Not at all.
Yes.
Can I help you?
Well, I don't know if the vessel that you come from talks back to you when you speak to it, but I'm afraid you'll find Voyager does not communicate.
Not in ways that you are listening for, but they communicate.
You are starting to sound like Mr. Paris.
Well, never met the man, but they have personalities. Each ship is different.
Yes, he speaks to his vessel as well.
Well, hopefully I'll get a chance to meet him one day.
Indeed. However, until then, we need to figure out what we are going to do about the situation of the missing crew. I know the doctor, or the captain, as he insists on being called now, is intent on getting somewhere safe, but I don't feel there is going to be anywhere safe. He did not tell you that some of the planets that we have passed very recently, upon recent scan, within hours of us doing a flyby, they are now completely assimilated.
James sort of stops, like on the console there, and sort of looks over. That quickly?
Indeed.
I didn't think it usually went that quickly.
It doesn't, at least not while I was part of the collective. There is something very unusual happening, and I think it's related to why the rest of our crew disappeared.
And maybe why we're here.
Perhaps.
A lot of guessing, though, at the moment.
That's
Are you
all
sure
we have.
Are you sure the civilizations that are now Borg weren't just incapable of preparing any kind of defense?
Even the weakest defended planets that we had come across in our journey when I was still a member of the collective would still require multiple days of processing before the entire population is completely assimilated.
Huh. All the more reason to stay out of their way, then.
My thoughts exactly. As well as many other vessels we've come across in recent weeks have been adrift, completely empty of crew, save for one lone small Kazon freighter that was traveling very far from its territory. They seem to be the only ones unaffected.
What's the Kazon?
Oh, you may not have that information in your Starfleet database where you come from. It is one of the species that live in the Delta Quadrant, and Voyager had encountered immediately upon their appearance here 6 years ago.
Huh. James sort of looks a little awkwardly at Seven for a moment. Do they hurt? Kind of pointing towards the implant, on her own face. Like, does that hurt?
Her posture straightens up. No.
I have lots more questions, but we probably have more important things.
My thoughts exactly, Lieutenant. Where shall we begin, and what are we intending to do when we reach this proto-wormhole of yours?
Do we have any scans of it yet, do you know?
I do not believe we are in range. The last scan that your associate, Lieutenant Weber, had conducted was only able to plot us a safer trajectory through the oncoming Borg swarm.
Do you think we're going to be able to fly the ship through a proto-wormhole?
I don't know if it would be large enough for a vessel of this size.
A shuttle, maybe?
Perhaps we will have to wait and see what is waiting for us at those coordinates. But if it's a proto-wormhole, it might not be stable enough for safe travel.
Well, I guess we'll have to wait until we're within range to get some scans of it.
Indeed, but it might not be a bad idea to start thinking of ways to counter whatever problems may be encountered in the proto-wormhole before we get there. My only fear is that if the Borg pick up our trail and become interested in us, we are not going to have the time to just sit outside the wormhole and think about what to do.
Do you know if they've detected us at all? Are they just here, or do they know something is in the area, or are they just
That is
here?
Unclear. Can't say for certain. Their behavior is very different from the Borg I am familiar with.
Because we could set up probes or torpedoes to give off false readings and shoot them off in different directions to give misleading scans for them. But if they haven't detected anything, if they're just here, then there's no point sending something out on the off chance that they do find it and then become interested and start looking more.
I think you're right. We should probably wait to see what their intentions are before we draw any more attention to ourselves.
All right, so well, we need more information on the proto-wormhole, because I don't want to start making alterations to this ship if we end up going into a shuttle and needing to do the same thing again.
Perhaps we should reconvene with your associate and together try to think of what precautions may be necessary to do before we even reach the wormhole, hopefully to shorten the time we spend at that location undefended.
Agreed. Back to the bridge then, I guess.
Back to the bridge then. All right. So, going to head back to the bridge real quick and let the two of you discuss what you would intend to do to prepare for possible wormhole travel or stabilizing a wormhole or any other modifications you might need to do to a ship. So, Let's do the whole bridge thing again. Here we go. That'll be our meeting place here because, again, the budget is very, very low. So everyone's kind of gathered around the bridge. They don't feel comfortable using Captain Janeway's ready room in deference to her being gone. So they just use the bridge to convene. So that's the point where you're at. It's more of a brainstorming session of what do you think needs to be done before you actually get there, working on your limited information currently.
Well, if it's a proto-wormhole, we might need to look at stabilizing it at this end, depending on whether it's, jumps around, stays in one place, or what have you. Maybe modifications to shields, but we won't know anything like that until we have a look at the wormhole.
The ECH looks to Weber. Lieutenant, what do you think would be the best course of action? Do you think we need to make any modifications for our vessel first? Or do we need to make any changes to affect the wormhole itself?
Well, it might sound a bit cliche, but from what I'm gathering, we have to decide between speed to get through the Borg as quickly as possible and protection for our journey through the wormhole, or find some middle ground. But we have to choose carefully what we do.
How far until we can get a good scan?
Probably
I would say halfway through the Borg fleet. It's already very, very risky to try to maneuver through them. So if we take away any energy from the engines, for example, it will take even if it just takes an hour longer. There's a significantly higher chance that will be detected.
Problem is, we don't want to arrive there.
Asking as a player, is there any way to calculate when we are at the coordinations, how long it would take for the Borg to reach us? Would we still have some time there to do other modifications?
With the way they're passing through the system, with the way they're doing their sweeps there, it's kind of random. So maybe right now, it's hard to say. You'll probably need to recalculate that once you get closer.
Mm-hmm. Okay. There's no way of saying how long we have once we've reached the coordinations, so I can't promise that we'll be able to change any modifications or any major modifications we're doing now.
So any definite course of action that you want to get started on while you're en route? Any consensus there of what you would like to start? If not, then you'll have to make up your mind once you reach the point.
So I guess as a player, not knowing much about proto-wormholes, would, because I mean, as a player, I'm thinking, well, maybe things like environmental controls, like do we need protection against radiation inside the wormhole, assuming we can get in? Any modifications to shielding, Ways to make the wormhole more stable. Can we do something when we get there that will make the wormhole, more stable, easier to get in, and more likely to not collapse on us partway through our journey? Because not being able to get in and or it collapsing could be bad for everyone.
Yeah. Those are good ideas. Do you have any other, Julian, or do you want to commit to one of those, or would you rather just wait and see?
I think right now my priority would be getting through the Borg. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I meant. We probably have to decide where to focus right now.
So focusing on the navigation aspect and then dealing with what might be at the wormhole when you get there, right?
That would be my idea, yeah.
Okay.
But I'm not the one to decide.
Okay. With that said, we got the idea. So, James, you shared your ideas with possibilities. Weber wants to make sure you're safely through the wormhole or through the Borg area first, before considering where to redirect resources. With all of that spread out there, the ECH is going to follow the I don't know, command is the right word. Going to follow the advice of his new first officer and say that, very well, I think that is a wise course. Make sure we are reaching a point of safety first before we take our eyes off of the Borg. Who knows what might happen if we don't pay attention to them. So until then, Miss James, could you please make sure we have our engines running at peak capacity and ready to go to warp in an escape if so needed? Otherwise, I will have Voyager traveling as closely to the trajectory provided to us by Mr. Weber, and once we're able to get a better scan of this proto-wormhole, we can then come up with our new set of plans. Is that good?
As you wish. Engines are looking good at the moment. Warp 9's available whenever you need it.
Perfect. Then, I suppose we should all resume our stations and keep our fingers crossed. Hope for the best, as they say.
Yes. Hope. Let's go.
Let's do it.
I'll head back down to engineering.
Okay, and Weber will resume his position and everyone will get in their spot. And it's a little bit early. Just a few minutes earlier than usual. Let's take our midway break here. After we come back from the break, I'll try to do a bit more paced out scene jumping between both sides of the crew. I just wanted to make sure that you two had your long stretch since you had to sit out for a long time. So we'll come back and we'll just start hopping back and forth, come back with the Zimmerman and then back to Voyager and keep hopping like that. How's that?
That works.
Okay, yeah, just start thinking about what you want to do after the break, what you want your actions to be, and then you get to deal with all the other crazy stuff that pops up. Okay? All right, where's the pause? All right, see you in a few. Take about 10 minutes. I'll be back after I get a drink. See you.
Bill?
Yep.
Could you do that?
And we're back. We're back from our break. Welcome back, everyone. So we are now going to the combined USS Zimmerman and the Klingon ship, the Kira. And Lok, you went back in command of your ship. You went back to your vessel. So why don't we start with you? Let me know what you're doing upon returning to your ship.
Well, just before I left the Zimmerman, on my way out, so to say, I stopped by Commander Drake and made a quiet note to him of a private communication channel that we can use. Just in
Thank
case
you, Captain.
the current Starfleet and current Klingons do not approve of whatever we decide to do going forward.
Yeah,
That's
a very smart idea. Thank you, Captain.
Also, I do want to point out that since we had a scene change, there's one momentum literally disappearing as you watch. Well, I'll see it's gone. So you're down to 5 momentum right now. Okay.
Okay, so back,
yes. Yes. Now
so
that you're
back on my ship, I begin by checking in with the Klingon command and updating them with the status of what is going on and what's taken place, pretty much so that they're up to date to the same point that Starfleet is.
Okay. Meanwhile, after you send your report on what is the bridge here? I wish I could see what things are actually on there. Oh, hang on a second. I need to get the new log image. That's right. We got a brand new log here. Not that old hat log that we were dealing with all this time. So hang on a second. So back on the bridge of your vessel, the Kir, you are there. Your first officer, your second in command, there comes up to you. That is, of course, Jakur, and says, "Commander, what has transpired? What should we prepare for?"
Prepare for battle. We shall have not only Borg, but enemies that you can hardly imagine to fight against. Prepare for a glorious death in battle.
The whole bridge crew start roaring when they hear that. Borg, you say? Well, I would love to have my first chance to go against them. But what of the Jem'Hadar? There are reports coming in that they are attacking Federation outposts.
We are currently formulating an attack plan. Whether or not they are a part of it is yet unclear. However, we must be ready for anything.
And we will be, Commander.
I assume that we did not come to, or like I didn't talk with the captain anymore before I left the...
Would you like to have?
I guess we can say that I had a short conversation with him on my way out.
Okay.
To see what Starfleet's current immediate plans were for, or what their current situation is, given the attacks that are happening.
Well, Starfleet is mounting a full defense, so ships are being reassigned to the areas that are being under attack. The Jem'Hadar, or at least the Dominion, I should say, the Dominion is basically, which, I mean, it's not too different from what they normally do, but they are leaving no survivors. They are taking out colonies or bombarding the surface. Any station in the way that's undefended, they are destroying completely. No matter what, it seems like a full scorched earth policy on everything they're coming across.
All right. In that case, then I leave him with a note that if something is if there is an attack nearby that we can help the Zimmerman specifically with, that we will relish the opportunity for battle and support them, given that Klingon Central Command does not order us elsewhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So meanwhile, you and your ship will prepare for battle. How about on the Zimmerman? What is going on the Zimmerman there, Commander? What are you and Tadagia up to?
Personally, I'm going to be preparing the ship because we're about to go into battle. So getting everyone ready, making sure everything is prepared security-wise, all the weapons are online and functioning correctly, as well as when I have a moment between all of that, looking into everything I can about the Borg and how to kill them.
Okay. And Tadagia, what are you up to?
Pretty much the same. Just getting ready for battle stations. Getting staff ready. Also, I'm going to research a little more into those various incursions in which the Borg had made into the territory to see if there was some way to reverse it or use that as a way to maybe back navigate a plot point or a point back to some point of origin where those signals came from in the first place.
Okay. You know what? Let's do a little roll for that because that's something you could calculate there. So I would imagine that would be just be science and reason would probably work well. Science and reason, task roll 2 for you if you're not spending any momentum or that to do it. And I'm guessing you're using the ship's computers to help you. So if somebody could roll for the Zimmerman with their computers, that would be the assist for that. Anyone want to jump at that?
I can do that. What would that gonna be? So that's sensors, computers?
Computers. Computers and science, yes.
I assume the Zimmerman's sheet automatically has focus on when I roll.
It should say focus button. It should say like yes for the focus. If the focus is on. If the focus is on. Should say it. I actually am looking at a completely different sheet right now. So let me take a look. Zimmerman. So maybe because it's a ship, then maybe it is always on then.
Okay, cool. I'll just roll.
Okay.
I can't see what I did.
I think you rolled 2 dice on the ship there. But not that it matters because they both rolled 1 success. So either way, it would have been 1 success. And Gene, do you have access to the roll 20 or are you going to use your physical dice?
I'm going to use the physical dice.
Oh, okay. Are you rolling 2 dice then?
Yes.
Okay. And what are your stats? What are you rolling under?
Ooh, 15 and a 19.
15 and 19. That sounds pretty grim. So let's see. 15 and a 19.
He meant 1 and 2.
Of course, yes, I am. Exactly.
Let's see here. That would be reason and science. So that's 13. So 2 failures right there. Okay. So you're running your calculations with 1 success. That is not enough. You really can't find a common point of origin at all for these vessels, like where they came from, and the fact that they're covering such a large swath of space. It doesn't seem possible that they came from one specific area, but you can't say how or where they got there.
Okay.
But you looked into that. At least you attempted to. Okay, so as you're all preparing, Captain Henderson tells the crew that you are going to be heading out shortly to try to regroup with the 10th Fleet. But before that can happen, and I don't know if it can happen, but before that can happen, let's see what's going on here. Drake and also Locke on the Klingon ship, you and your folks as well. There's beeping on the console, and Drake, as you are also at tactical, I'll just pass it over to you, that there are a number of incoming vessels approaching.
Can I check to see if the Federation, Klingon, and hopefully not Dominion?
Sure, you can. I don't know if I'm going to tell you, but you can do it. We'll see. You take a look, and just checking your scans. You don't have to roll for that or anything. They are indeed Dominion.
Okay. Captain, we've got Dominion ships inbound. Can I scan how many? Or if I can see.
Yeah, go ahead. You don't even have to roll for that right now. I'll just say you have 3 blips.
3 Dominion ships inbound, Captain.
And you see that as well, Commander Locke. Your crew tells you the same thing. And sure enough, you get 3 Dominion vessels coming in. Weapons are charged.
Shields up.
Nah. So let's get into a little bit of a skirmish here. It's going to be slightly different since you're on different vessels and that. But what we're going to do instead, since you're in command of 2 different vessels, I'm going to have Locke, you'll be rolling for your ship. We're going to do a little bit more of a simplified combat on it, but you will also be able to do your own character action as well. So basically, you'll be controlling the ship as if you are just, in general, the ship making its move. But if you want to do something like as the commander, and that you may do that as well. In addition to that, or aside from that, I should say, Liz and Julian, if you want to, you can make supporting characters, or just very briefly take a supporting role on either of these ships to play a role that is needed. Like if you want to be the gunner on the Klingon ship, or if you want to do the helm on one of the ships, you could take over that type of position if you so choose.
I prefer to just listen because I have to pat my back in the background.
Yeah, go right ahead. Go right ahead. Wanted the option to be there for you in case you wanted it. Okay.
I'm good too.
Okay. Well, then we'll leave it.
Thank you, though.
We'll leave it to
help.
you folks. So, here we go. The attacks coming in. Locke, you and your Klingon crew see the vessels coming in. There's more of like a Jem'Hadar command ship and 2 fighters as well coming in. And also Zimmerman, you see that as well. Players, you have the action first. And the way we're going to do this, since you don't have full crews and you're rolling like this, it's going to be more or less like an extended task, trying to compete with them depending on how you're doing, if you're actually going full combat or whatever your tactic may be. Okay?
Okay.
Captain Henderson yells battle stations. Of course, everything goes into red alert. Who is going to act first, and what is your action going to be?
Imagine a Klingon's going to start firing first.
Nope.
Nope. Okay.
He's currently screaming right now.
No, our initial action is to go into stealth mode and put up our invisibility cloak.
Okay.
Coward.
Have fun tanking.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Thanks.
All right. If you're I don't. Let's see. On roll 20. Do we have that on there? I believe there are the different charts of the different actions you can take during combat if you so desire. So if you want to look at those for an idea, let's see here. Look. Here we go. Cloaking is a control and engineering supported by engines and security thing on there. So if you're doing that to make sure that you don't get caught by anything. But if you also want to spend momentum to do it instead, since you're in command, then you can do that as well.
Yeah, let's just spend a momentum to do it.
All right. So we'll just use 1 point of momentum for that, taking you down to 4. And we'll say that you're invisible for now. Like as soon as the ships pop on the radar, you go invisible. Actually, that would be 2 points of momentum because that's like an advantage. It's like giving you the cloak trait, disappearing from the sensors. So you're invisible. Okay, so you see them disappear. Meanwhile, the Jem'Hadar vessels are now, they only have a single target to worry about now. So they're all starting to converge on your ship. So I'm going to roll for their engines. So give me a moment here. Okay, and very good. Double 3s on them. So they are pretty good on that roll, I would say. And then rolling against the extended task thing to see how they're doing for you, what advantage they're getting. And that was also quite a good roll. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's going on their side. 6 points on their side. This is not damage for you. This is just, again, the Tide of War extended task. Points. Okay. They are basically closing in on an attack formation onto the USS Zimmerman, and that is going to give them a advantage towards the attack.
Great. Well, I'm going to target whichever Jem'Hadar ship is closest.
Okay.
To try and create some sort of blockade between them and us. And are they in range of weapons fire?
I would say they would be in medium range by this point, yes.
Phasers, torpedoes are long range.
Torpedoes are long, phasers are medium.
Okay, then if they're in medium range, then I shall fire phasers at the front Jem'Hadar. Aiming at the weapon system aiming at the weapons, ideally.
Okay. Targeting weapons, so I think that if you're targeting the weapons itself, I think that might raise the difficulty. Are you going to use anything in addition to that, or just rolling your 2 dice? And also need someone supporting on the Zimmerman with the weapons roll, too.
No, I'm not designed for ship combat, funnily enough. I'm more physical, but anyway.
How about
you
Gene?
Mean momentum?
Yeah, if you want to use momentum. Gene, would you like to roll for the Zimmerman? With that?
Yes, give me one.
Sure, let me look. The Zimmerman for this roll would be, I forgot how to do that. For this roll would be weapons 9 and security 2, so that's 11.
And I'm going to change my mind. With the Jem'Hadar ships, I'm just going to aim to kill.
Okay, so no difficulty increase.
No.
12 and 11 on my end.
Just one die, just one roll.
Just one, okay.
Yeah.
4.
That's even better. Not a critical success, but a success. And Drake, did you make yours?
Control, security, 2, focus is on, task roll. I got 2 zeros. Yay.
2 zeros. And so the phasers go wide as the Jem'Hadar come barreling in on you. They are going to take their own pot shot, as it were. So here we go. Hang on, I need to write a couple more stats down before I forget. So,
I'll do Minimentum next time. I should have used that.
let's see. What's it? Audio work. What is the Zimmerman shields again? Zimmerman shields are, I believe, what is structure? I believe the Zimmerman has, oh, they have advanced shields. Advanced shields does what exactly? Does what exactly? I think it gives them a +1, doesn't it?
The ship's maximum shields are increased by 5. That's about it.
By 5. Okay. So in that case, I believe that means that the shields are 16. That sounds about right.
Take your word for it.
I might be wrong, but who cares? It's all about having fun, right? All right. So rolling the other thing, and again 2 successes on there. So let's roll in. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. No effects really work on there. So 10 on there. So there we go. So we're going to roll some damage against your ship, but you have a resistance of 5. Resistance of 5, which is a good thing. You're a strong vessel. So the Jem'Hadar stats. 1 second, please. They're phase polar on beam energy. Okay, so with this, it's the phase polar on beam array. 9 is spread piercing. Here we go. Here we go. You ready for this?
No.
Yeah, you are. All right. So here we go. What did you get? 4, 6, 8, and 10. And then you have resistance of 5, so that is taking 5 off of that damage there, and putting 5 damage against the shield. So the ship is down to 11 shields and rocking. That is also 5 points of damage it got through, so that's a breach, in fact. So rolling the breach on the breach table. Where is my breachy table? What scale is a Zimmerman? We're dealing with a different ship than usual. We are dealing with
scale is 5.
Yeah, that's right. It's a big boy. So scale is 5. It's on there. So rolling. Let's see here. 5. Yeah. So you got 1 breach in the structure. So the ship starts rocking. It starts shaking, trembling. Lights flickering out there. And 1 breach in the structure. All right. Back to the hero's turn. It's either going to be Lok or Thadagia. What would you like to do?
Let's see, I'm going to... No, I'm on the bridge, correct?
You could be wherever you want to be for now. We left it pretty vague.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'm going to be on the bridge for this.
Okay.
Turn. Take one of the consoles.
All right. And what would you like to have the ship do?
Is there a way that we can double shields on the attacking side?
Oh, yeah, sure. Sure, you could assist with that. Why not? So, more or less like a rerouting shields type thing. So let's do that. For a minor action, you could just fix everything that's clicked offline because of the breach. But otherwise, for the rerouting the shields, that's going to be a difficulty of 2, I believe. Not really regenerating shields, but we're going to be rerouting shields. So we're going to say difficulty of 2. That's not a problem yet. So you could do that.
All right, and that's 2 dice, correct.
And yes, and the Zimmerman would support. I keep opening the wrong window. I'm not finding. Zimmerman would support with structure and security. Structure and security on that. So if someone wants to roll for that.
10 and a 7.
10 and a 7. That's good. And looking at sheet there. David, I can't see. I gotta open that window. I'm hiding the results here. I can't see what you roll. Oh, James, did you roll? I guess so. James, also, only
yes,
one.
Sorry,
only
my cat's also aggressively on the keyboard.
Yeah, only 1 die for the ship assists. Only 1 die for the ship assists. Since we got a fail and a hit, I'm going to have to ask you re-roll that one more time just to see which die it is.
Oh, that's me.
Oh no, Gene, you're rolling 2 because you're the one that's like doing the action sort of. But for the ship assisting, that's always 1.
Okay.
James, could you roll that one more time, please? It's still showing 2 rolls for you, is it? That's strange. Is that like a side effect of this new sheet here on Roll20? Is it being?
I think it might be because I had one selected before and it rolled 2.
Yeah, you know, let me just click on the roll here too and see how many dice come out. Let's see. Did something even come out? Yeah, it's showing 2. That's strange. So that must be a bug with the new Roll20 sheet. That must be why everyone keeps rolling that. Let's see here. If I click a 2 on here, does that change anything? That's a 2 is a 2.
Always
also.
2.
Let's see 3. Let's see if we could. Always 2. So every time it's going to be 2. So here's what we'll do from this point forward. When we're rolling for the ship, because it's only 1 thing, we're just going to take the leftmost number as being the roll. Okay?
Okay.
Cool.
Does that make more sense? So with that said, with the leftmost number being the roll, now I will ask you one more time, Lieutenant James, now that all the confusion's out of the way, roll one more time, and whatever the leftmost number is, we'll do that. And Gene, let me know, you said 10 and 7, right?
Correct.
Okay. Then get Gene's sheet. Liz, did you roll again? I hear something now. There we go. Sometimes my thing doesn't make the sound.
Is that the right one, right?
I said leftmost? Why? What happened? I guess the right one isn't there. Well, anyhow, oh my god, I got so many windows open up now, and my computer is being very aggressive with me. So let's see, nothing for there. 10 and a 7 for Gene. I apologize. I'm getting everything organized now. Okay, 10 and a 7 for Gene. Yeah. Both of those will be successes, so you didn't even need the assist from the ship. Gene, do you have 6-siders as well?
Yes.
Okay. Can you please roll for me a number of 6-siders equal to 2 plus your stat, which for engineering is 3, so 5 6-siders, please, and let me know what you get.
As total or individually?
Total, how many hits? Yeah.
13.
13. Wow.
Yes.
Oh my god. Oh, wait. Are you rolling the Star Trek 6-siders or regular 6-siders?
Regular 6-siders.
Okay. This isn't for shooting. Again, I'm kind of running it like an extended task to see like how much advantage you're all making. So It's more for building advantage in your favor. I'm sorry about Gene. What was that? Was that regular six-sider or Star Trek ones?
Regular.
Ah, okay.
Did you want me to roll this?
If you
Did
have,
you want me to roll the?
if you do have the Star Trek ones, that might be easier. If not, then I would need to know the individual numbers that you roll on those.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're just figuring things out as we go along.
3 on this one.
3 on that one. That sounds more like a regular roll. 13 would be like, dear Lord in heaven. Okay, thank you. All right, so we got that. We're just working the extended task thing down against the ships here. Okay, going back, just very, very quickly, seeing how they are doing there. Oh! That's a double failure on my part here, and including a critical failure. So I'm going to give a boost to Lulk. You're the last one who has to take an action here.
Perfect. So I essentially, while this was happening, we swing around behind the 3 ships, and we target one of the 2 smaller ships.
Okay.
Yeah, we just Lulk on the bridge says, just yells, "Fire!"
Okay. Ship decloaks. Go fire. You roll your command skill on that, and somebody roll for the Kir-A with the weapons and security. Difficulty 2 again.
Okay, so command and I mean, does presence or
yeah
daring?
Either way.
Okay,
yeah, those are both
daring and command, and then that's a task roll.
It would be a task roll. Yeah, task roll of 2.
Task roll and 1 or 2.
2. It's gonna roll 2 no matter what, apparently, but still 2.
Okay. And complication?
Still 1. Still 1.
1. Okay.
It's actually going to be on difficulty of 1 because of that critical that they rolled right there. So let's see here.
Difficulty 1, not 2.
Oh, you're fine. It just how many successes you need. You got 3 successes. The ship got 0, and in fact got a critical failure.
I shouldn't be allowed to roll.
But the 3 successes that works. And now, can you also roll for me, Lulk? Your I have to find your sheet here. Your command. Did you roll command or daring?
Huh? They're 2 different ones.
No,
I have daring and command both selected.
Oh no, yeah, that's I meant presence or daring. So you did daring.
Yeah.
Can you do let's see, what is it? 2 plus your daring skill. Or your command skill, the command skill. I'm getting so lost here in what I'm saying. It doesn't matter. It was going to be command anyhow. So that's 7 dice for the challenge dice. I need to get my brain straight because nothing is working right. So 7 challenge dice, yes.
Okay.
Guys, I hear whoop whoop. What's happening with whoop whoop? Oh, you rolled 0 dice now. I'm glad they really updated Roll20. I'm so happy.
Well, it rolled 0 from 7.
Yeah. Well, I mean, rounding up to the nearest 0, so. Can you just click it one more time? You know, like last time on the old sheet also glitched the first time. Oh, okay, there we go. Oh, thank God. Okay, something happened. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, yeah, and that's 5 enough for a breach in terms of extended tasks. So hang on, readjusting these numbers. So Commander Lulk, you take out the ship, so narrate the ship coming out, you cloak, you yell fire, the weapon unloads, and describe the scene.
Yeah, so as we swing around behind, and my crew is quite used to this maneuver, as it is. They are not surprised that we were not the first ones to fire, but so as we come uncloaked, we unload the oh god, what are the name of those? The disruptor cannons. There we go. And the smaller ship explodes even slightly faster than the Klingon crew had expected, which leads to a much larger and raucous cheer than would have been expected. And with that, as the cheer dies down, Lolk bellows out, "It's not time yet to celebrate. That is only one. On to the next smaller ship." And the ship begins to maneuver around towards the other small ship.
Okay. And as you're turning through the maneuver, as you said, it was a much greater explosion than you expected. You're cutting through the fiery debris as raining around, and you see that when your vision was concealed, the larger vessel actually turned to approach you in an attack pattern, kind of letting you slip in front of it. So it's gaining an advantage against you because of that critical that you got. So now you're kind of sandwiched between the two enemy ships there. An unfavorable position, but that's where we are for now. But hang on to your ideas there. We are jumping back to the Delta Quadrant. Okay?
Mid-battle.
Mid-battle, but there's big things coming either way. So please...
That's classic television right there.
Yeah. You gotta cut through. There was the big exciting moment, and then we're in a tricky situation, and then we'll see what that is. Okay, so back to the Voyager crew, Mabrin and James. You're continuing your course, I should say, through the, I don't know if Borg space is the right term for it, but through the area with the Borg grouping getting larger and larger. You're about halfway through, and according to your calculations, Mr. Weber, you're probably more in range to get a good view of what this proto-wormhole is now that you're on the back end of the trip. So,
any reactions from the Borg yet?
So far, no.
Okay.
Anything anyone wants to say or do or suggest before you do any other roll?
I might pass a bit of more power through to the sensors to give a better chance for Weber, extend the range or something.
Okay. Then why don't we try that? So the ECH, he says start the scan. So Weber, again, that is going to be your typical science roll. James, you will assist with your control and engineering, I imagine. And I need somebody to roll for the Voyager again, if somebody would like to do that. 1d20. The Voyager has the... we're using the sensors again, so the Voyager stat is... It's now I shrunk the window down, so I can't see. The Voyager system is sensors 10 plus science, so 14. 14. I'm hearing whoops, and I gotta see what actually is happening with the whoops. 14. Drake, did you roll for Voyager?
Yes, but then
13.
Weber did so. Yeah.
Weber's doing the actual scanning roll, so you're rolling the Voyager support. So yeah, you're good, and James rolls. So yeah, everyone's good. 13, that barely makes it, so that's good. 1, 2, 3. You got 3 successes there, so the 3 lost momentum comes back into the pool, and Weber will, of course, generate 1 extra for a question. You get a much better scan onto this proto-wormhole. It is, again, emanating a very precise type of Verteron radiation, the same type that you and James are covered in. It is definitely unstable, and it is extraordinarily small. Basically, it's just the kind of like a whirlpool of the gases stuck around this opening and closing, very tiny proto wormhole. You, of course, at your distance right now, you can't get any scan inside, but you see it is currently out there.
When you say very tiny,
Mm-hmm.
are you talking shuttle size tiny? Are you talking person size tiny? Are you talking like a particle of space dust tiny?
I would say that it would probably be somewhere between the size of a person and a shuttle. That's what you can determine there. It's
Right.
definitely not large enough for a big vessel to go through, and may not even be large enough for a shuttle to go through. But uh, it is somewhere between the size of a being, a physical being, and a maybe a shuttlecraft of some sort. Again, you're
Now,
not exactly sure how big.
From memory as a player,
Yes.
the Delta Flyer was a smaller shuttle.
Larger. Larger.
It was it?
Yes. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
For some reason, I always pictured it as sort of smaller than the average shuttle for some weird reason.
No, they built quite a big thing. It had separate like rooms in the back too. They had like the different levels there, so it's a bit bulkier and larger than the normal shuttle. I thought it was a smaller one too, and I was surprised when I saw like some diagrams of it. Thought that is bigger than I thought. Yeah.
I'll actually have to look it up in Utopia Planitia if it's in there, which I assume it should be.
It should be. You would imagine it is. You would imagine. Delta Flyer. Let's see if I can find it. Anything else, Weber? Anything else you want to say?
I do have that extra question, right?
What's that?
I do have this extra question.
You do, yes.
So is there any way, if the Borg see us within the next few minutes, would there be a way to calculate how much time we would still have once we are at the destination to
the wormhole?
Yeah. I mean, we were discussing earlier once we're there, if we have time enough to. Jesus.
Yeah. If they were to spot you now, you would have a bit...
modifications.
There you go. You would have a bit of a head start, so it might be worthwhile to start any kind of modifications you want to make currently, and try to have them finished by the time you get there. But Borg vessels are pretty fast. But Voyager, as you can tell from the console, is also quite a fast ship itself. So if pushed to it, you would still probably outrun them there.
Okay.
Do we have any questions left?
You could spend regular momentum for questions as normal.
Is the wormhole stable enough that it could be entered?
Well, that's a good question. Yeah, I think that's one that could be answered with the momentum if you want to spend it. Is that good?
Yeah, I'm happy with it.
It's not extremely stable like the Bajoran wormhole is. It is, I would say, questionably stable. So it can be entered. You're just not really sure if it has the right composition to allow you to exit as well from where you are. You're still quite far away.
Given the Verteron, was it? Particles?
Yes.
if we were to enter with a ship, be it a shuttle or, well, we can't enter it with Voyager, it's too small. But if we manage to strip a shuttle down to its size or something similar, what modifications would need to be made?
You mean just for protection wise?
For protection.
Probably without needing to spend any momentum on that. Probably just make sure it has at least some hull covering and maybe at least rudimentary shields. The radiation itself shouldn't be that dangerous.
Okay. Is there anything we can do to stabilize the wormhole from this end? Or widen its entry?
That's a question for the two of you scientists to work out.
We can't get that from the scan?
Well, that would be more theoretical things to see what you can do.
Okay.
Whether or not it would work, that you would have to test once you come up with your idea. There could be ways, but you would have to come up with a plan.
All right, I think I'm out of ideas for questions.
Anything else, Weber?
No.
Okay. So the ECH and 7 in particular, they're a little bit disappointed at the size of the wormhole. So clearly it's not one that the ship can get through on its own. And also the fact that it is not entirely stable raises a lot of questions of exactly how useful is this going to be for everyone here. The ECH will want to know if you have any suggestions, as you're currently on the course towards there. What do you intend to do once you arrive?
Make it stable and jump on in.
He looks surprised upon hearing that.
Well, I mean, the prophets, I guess, sent myself and Weber here, and so they've given us these coordinates. With nothing else to go on, I guess it's the...
I take a breath in when you mention profits, but then decide to not comment on it.
So it might be our only option. / something clearly is pushing us in that direction. I mean, we were in the Shackleton Expanse not that long ago, so, suddenly we're here and the same power that brought us here is wanting us to go through that.
Yeah, obviously. And the alternative would be being caught by the Borg. And
not usually one for, faith, but I've never really been transported halfway across the galaxy before either, so...
The EMH, or ECH, I should say, speaks up, said, "So, are you intending to abandon us here, or are we all going along?"
Well, if we can get a shuttle through that hole... worst case scenario is I look to the doctor, you and I fly the shuttle, everyone else can be in transporter buffers to minimize any harm to well, to them. But that's a pretty small opening. At this point, I'm not even sure we'll be able to get a shuttle through that. And if we can't do that, then I don't know what we're going to do.
Well, what modifications do you need to make to prepare?
Well, if we go down the shuttle path, I will probably need to strip down a shuttle a bit. Improve some shielding. If we go with my suggestion of you and me piloting, and them in the buffer, probably some sort of emergency backup for the transporters, just in case we lose power. I don't think the Verteron's going to be overly dangerous to us. So I think just be whether we can strip down a shuttle enough to get it through the hole.
What do you think,
Start
Lieutenant?
with.
Looking to Weber. Do you agree with the plan?
Actually, I do, yeah.
Very well. Well,
Yeah.
as I don't have any further ideas on what to do, and I don't even know why we're going there in the first place, but I'm putting my faith in the two of you, mysterious visitors on this vessel. So I leave it to your good intentions. How about that? So why don't you get started in the shuttle bay, and we will keep on maintaining our course and try to avoid the Borg.
All right. I'll yet again head to the turbo lift.
Okay.
And make my way to the shuttle bay.
Okay, and you're going to start stripping down the shuttle, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Probably one of the normal shuttles if the Delta Flyer is a bigger shuttle.
Yeah, I looked it up. It's a scale 2 compared to scale 1 of shuttles.
Huh. There you go.
So it's about runabout size, at least in that course where there would be multiple like rooms and areas on the ship. So yeah, what a surprise. Okay, and Weber, what are you going to do as part of this plan? Is there any way you are assisting or working on a different thing or a different angle for the plan?
Do I have to watch our flight, or is it all?
I mean, going with the advantage that you set, we're going to assume that it's not going to take constant monitoring from you, just running the calculations that you had. So you don't have to do that if you want to work on something else.
I mean, it might still be a good idea to keep an eye on the Borg, even though it would take them a while to catch up to us.
Okay.
Or are they really so far away that they can't be any danger, even for the rest of the flight?
I don't think I would ever safely say that they are not a danger from where they are.
Yeah, then I keep monitoring them, I guess.
Okay. That's going
and
to...
at some point the
yes.
captain will realize that I'm staring at the wall, lost in thought.
Okay. And the ECH will glance at you and say, "Is everything all right, Lieutenant?"
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. I was just thinking how glad, air quotes, I am that everything we've encountered so far in this weird adventure, in one way or the other, showed up on our scanners or could be calculated in some way, because I would otherwise probably be religious by now, and that's something I try to avoid. There's so much crazy stuff happening that it's just, yeah.
Curious, why do you say you would avoid becoming religious? Not that I'm a proponent of religion, but just curiosity.
Well, I would say that the sheer amount of inexplainable things that we've encountered over the last weeks is might be the kind of thing that in the past has led people to religion.
I see. And
well, anyway, I'm sorry. I just I shouldn't have.
Oh no, no. I apologize for pressing. I have one more question. You said you encountered the coordinates for this wormhole in some sort of vision.
Yes, and that's what I meant. I am. That's the one aspect that I still don't have a reasonable explanation for, and I hope that at the end of our journey I will, because I was getting these coordinates while I was doing some rituals and my personal mix of religious practices, and that's when I got these coordinates, and I'm still wondering what's behind that.
Very interesting indeed. Did you get any other information or just these coordinates?
Asking as a player, it was just these coordinates, right?
There was the gibberish.
They were part of a bigger message, I think.
Yeah, there was the gibberish that you couldn't figure out, no matter how hard you tried. The only thing that made sense were the actual numbers that you were able to break down. So it seems like there is more to it, but the only thing that could logically make sense without having a cipher was just standard numerals. But also the fact that you had the urge to talk to the captain as well. You had to pass that message to the captain.
Yeah. So I tell him that, and add that it might have been the text that is missing, or that I couldn't understand, might have explained the whole situation, maybe. But it's only the coordinates that made sense.
Do you recall this message that did not make sense to you? Could there be more
nothing
to it?
At all anymore. It kept vanishing. The more I thought about it, the more it disappeared, and there's nothing left now. I couldn't even tell you the coordinates now if we hadn't put them down.
That is definitely mysterious, and now I see what you mean about driving one towards religion if you didn't have a more sound scientific mind. Okay, well, let's just stick with the plan, and hopefully we don't have to pray to the prophets. There we go. As far as the shuttle, we're going to set up a couple of roles for there. James, I think you'll probably be assisted by 7.
Okay.
So she will at least act as an advantage for you. And we'll do a couple of the rules there. So what steps are you going to make? First of all, you're going to strip down the size of the shuttle, right?
If I can, without compromising structural integrity.
Okay. And then after it's stripped down to a smaller size, you want to do what?
So if we're going, how many transporter pads would we have in there?
For a shuttle, I'm not entirely sure. I think
because I know the runabout had more.
Yeah.
Because I was looking that up for my own ship that I was building.
Yeah.
But the smaller ones, I don't know.
Yeah, the shuttles are kind of vague and a little ambiguous in how the transporters work. So I would imagine you could beam at least 2 people at the same time, at the very minimum. Because they don't really have pads for the most part, at least most shuttles. They just kind of had like this very vague transporter system on them that you get beamed into the middle of the cabin somehow.
All right. I would like to see if I can make it so that 3 people can be held in a buffer.
Okay.
And potentially have, depending on time, a separate power source. So we have, the first being running off the shuttle's power, a secondary power source, and potentially hooking up into auxiliary as a third option.
Okay.
So because we'd really prefer not to lose the people if we're going to put them in transporters.
That makes sense.
And losing power to the buffer is kind of bad.
That would be if you were trapping people inside of it, yeah. Okay, so those are your steps. So you're going to have to do those 3, and we are going to say that with how complicated it is and the fact that there's only 2 of you working on it right now, that's going to be difficulty of 3 to start on the shuttle stripping part. So I would imagine something like reason and engineering would do the trick, because you are applying your engineering knowledge to what needs to be done for the shuttle. It's a difficulty of 3. Are you rolling with anything extra?
Yes. Now, just a question first of all, I guess. Structural engineering as a focus.
Uh-huh.
Is that all right?
Of course.
Brilliant. Complication range was 3?
No, difficulty is 3.
Difficulty, yep, sorry.
Complication range is still 1.
Still 1, okay. I would... I'm deciding. How many momentum do we have?
You have 5 currently.
Okay. May I buy 1 with threat?
Okay.
I'll spend 1 threat and get 1, and then spend 2 momentum for a 4th dice.
Okay. All right, then you'll have 4 dice to go, and your focus
actually,
is...
I'll change that, sorry.
Okay.
Because we've got a few rolls to make. Just spending 1 momentum.
Okay.
So, no threat.
All right, so 1 momentum.
For 3 dice only.
But also keep in mind, the more successes you roll, the more that momentum comes back. The fewer dice,
True.
the fewer chances for success. So
True.
keep that in mind. Okay. So that'll be 3 dice for you?
Yep, 3 dice.
Okay.
Did that work? That did work.
That did work. There you go. You got 3 successes on there. So
Which was
your
the difficulty?
project of stripping down the ship is going well. So the first part is going to be completed without a hitch. So there you go. Meanwhile, this is going to take, of course, some time as you're en route. So you and Seven are going to be down there doing that. Also, some weird thing. I apologize. Anyone watching on YouTube later will notice that the map graphic for the ship disappeared for a little while, but I got it back up there now. Don't know what happened. But anyhow, back on the bridge as you are monitoring the situation, Mr. Weber, you start getting a couple of blips on your console, and looking down, you see that one of the Borg vessels has broken the standard flying formation that they've all been flying in. during this whole time. They all seem to be following a very regular mechanical pattern. The one vessel which is closest to you has stopped, and its course seems to be readjusting, and it's angling more towards the direction that you are flying in.
So we might have been spotted.
It's possible. The speed has not increased, but something clearly made the vessel stop in its tracks. And
actually, that was my character saying, talking. I said, "Sir, we might have been spotted." That's
the ECH he perks up. He's like, "Report, report."
One vessel has changed course and is heading towards. It seems to be heading towards our destination as well. So either they've spotted it, spotted this the warm entry as well, and going to check it out, or they have seen us and following us now.
Either way, we're going to have to hurry up with this plan. Doctor to engineering, Captain to engineering. Hello, is anyone there?
James here. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I know you're busy, Lieutenant. However, Lieutenant Weber reports that we may have the Borg headed our way. Whether they're coming after us or the wormhole remains to be seen. So you might want to speed up what you are doing down there. No pressure, though.
No pressure at all. All right, shall do.
Just a quick question.
Yes.
Maybe you've talked about it earlier and I didn't get it, but because it's so unstable, would there be a way for us to let it collapse? Go through?
It's possible. Yeah, it's possible with an unstable wormhole like that even the act of entering it might be enough to destabilize it. In some cases,
okay.
That has happened. So when it's a proto wormhole like that, it's pretty weak. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just throwing that in case we are indeed being followed.
Okay, good idea to have in mind. Yeah. All right, we're going to jump real quick over to the Zimmerman battle.
Sorry, cut off James. I don't know.
Were you saying something, James? I didn't hear.
If I was, I've forgotten what it was.
Okay. Well, as I'm setting up the next page, if you recall, if there was something you were going to say, please by all means just jump in.
Yep.
But going back to Zimmerman battle, here we go. So again, the Klingon ship, you are now in an unfavorable position, and suddenly you find yourself under attack on two different sides, and that is scoring a hit on there with the polar beam. Let me roll these. So your vessel gets rocked by a blast, Commander Locke. What is the resistance on the Kier?
Let's see. Resistance is
Futile. Come on.
Yeah, 0. Yes.
Resistance is 0. Is that accurate?
Yeah. That's what it says on the sheet here.
Well, the sheet can't be wrong, can it? Resistance is 0. That doesn't strike me as right. That doesn't strike me as correct. Hang on a second. That can't be right. Can't be right. Hang on. Let me just look here. It's probably just a let's see. I'm pretty sure the scale is the standard resistance for a ship, so it can't have 0. Right? Is that how it goes? I'm going to take the dead silence as agreeing with me. Well, you know what? I do have Utopia Planitia open, so let me just take a look. I'm pretty sure it's a scale. I haven't had to calculate it by hand in a long time, So I don't recall the details like that because I just used the Starship Creator. So what? Hang on, let me just take a look here. Okay, here's Utopia Planitia. Resistance. That just doesn't seem right to me. Well, that's interesting. That's interesting indeed. Huh. So let me look over here. Well, I'll be darned. What I'll be darned about. Let's see. No, it's not about. Here's the thing that. Here we go. Yes, that's right. It is scale. So your ship is not scale 0. So okay, 3.
3,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, now I forgot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So okay, 2 hits onto your shields if you want to calculate that. They didn't get a particularly good. Oh no! Wait a second. Sorry. I was just counting those as 1. They have those are effects that they rolled there, so those aren't just 1. They have penetration on their rolls, so that's actually removing your resistance. That's actually going to be 5 hits, so that is a breach on you. So that's 5 hits on your shield.
Okay. Well,
yeah. Apologies. So yeah, don't bother looking up that, but 5 on there, and that is a breach onto your engine. So your ship rocks, and the engine starts sputtering, and you start slowing down a bit. What's the action going to be on the hero side this time? New round.
You want to fix your ship first, or should we take a shot?
He's the Borg. Oh, sorry, your voice sounded assimilated for a second. They've already gone.
Well, considering, I mean, it's the second. So after us goes the second ship.
It's just the side. So whatever, like they get a turn,
right.
You get a turn, they get a turn. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're gonna do the. I think we're gonna. I mean, another hit like that would not destroy my ship, correct?
No, not like that. No.
Yeah. So in that case, yeah, we're just gonna do the Klingon thing and we're gonna take shots at the other smaller ship that hasn't gone yet.
Okay. Are you going to do that, or is the Zimmerman doing that?
Oh yeah.
Well, we're gonna target the big one that's behind you. So.
I see. Oh, so when it goes back and forth, it doesn't matter how many times each is acted, and it's just going to go back and forth until we've all acted? Or like if we take out the small ship now, does that remove their action? And
in a normal situation where if we were doing combat like just one crew on the ship, it would really depend on their scale. That's pretty much the number of actions that each ship gets. But we're doing this more as a roundabout way since you're more or less controlling the entire ship there. So I'm being very loosey-goosey with this. So.
Okay.
Yeah. Otherwise, they would probably have about 7 uninterrupted actions before you get to act again. And that just wouldn't be fair.
Yeah.
So, but again, technically, if it was a regular combat, they wouldn't be able to just keep firing. The difficulty would increase like substantially each time because this is all happening in like the same span. So in the normal combat, no, none of this would be happening like this. I'm just doing turn by turn for simplicity.
Okay, well, I'll let the Zimmermen go and do their thing.
Okay, and again, I'm treating attacking against them like an extended task. So it's, again, it's a very different style. So, Zimmerman, would you like to do that?
We Zimmermen are going to fire our phasers at the because they're still in medium range. So we're going to target the bigger ship, which is behind the Kira.
Okay, and we'll do that. And remember, you already have the wound track or work track, where you want to call it, for the extended task taken down quite a bit thanks to Tadagio's boost to the shields and also the Kira's massive attack on the smaller ship. So everyone's contributing their part to whittling this down, this battle. So go ahead.
Except me.
Except you. Except you and your failure. So going to do an attack again, I assume?
Yep, attack on the big ship with control and security. Focuses on complication ranges 1 and 3. Yay! And I need the Zimmerman to shoot as well. Who had that open?
Somebody want to roll for Zimmerman? Again, leftmost roll, so nothing there. Nothing there. Okay, there we go. So you did hit. It's difficulty of 2 that you needed for this. And go ahead. It's going to be for a task, the extended task 2 plus your security score.
So 2 plus security, that is 6. Challenge. 2, 4, 6.
2, 4, 6. Okay, and with the resistance on that thing there. The Zimmerman, does it have any weapon qualities? Their effects on their phasers. Versatile 2. Yeah, versatile 2 is that's usually before you make your attack. You choose like what extra type of thing you're going to get. Like you're going to have piercing or vicious to add more damage or take away their or no, versatile. I'm sorry, I think I'm thinking of the wrong one. I think versatile 2 just gains you extra momentum to add more damage. So
I'm up for that.
I think that's why. It's been so long since we did combat that I'm honestly forgetting. But versatile 2, I believe, adds 2 momentum per effect.
And I have 2 effects, so that's 2 extra momentum.
I'm probably getting it wrong, but at the same time, who cares? We're just having fun here. So yeah, you can. How many effects was that?
2.
2. I know I'm getting it wrong, but whatever. I think you might actually just get 2 momentum if you roll an effect, but whatever. Who cares? So you could use that again to take away resistance from them, which would then allow you to get a breach on there. Would you like to?
That, please.
Okay.
Yes, I would.
So that would leave you with you're still hitting with 5 on there. So taking the work track down even more, that's another breach. And okay, you score a direct hit on the, I don't know, maybe the command bridge of the ship as it's arcing around trying to get the Kira, and it sends the ship a little off course and reeling. They weren't expecting such a ferocious attack that soon. And the little vessel that is in between you and the Kira itself decides to turn its attention on you. I'm increasing the difficulty for them because they are going to rush in closer, and they're doing it a little haphazardly.
Before we, I have a question, Shirley, about the attack or our attack rolls.
Yeah.
Is it possible to do sort of a split attack? Sir, while he was firing, I had envisioned in my mind that I was also simultaneously targeting the small ship. So as he's pulling off that shot, I'm also firing perhaps an aft torpedo towards the small one at the same time. So it's basically, how would that work?
Well, I would say we would have to bump up the difficulty. I mean, we're just being creative here. Bump up the difficulty, and then you would roll like an assist for him. So it's more difficult for him because he's targeting with phasers at one ship and torpedoes on another ship. So we would bump up the difficulty a bit, and then you would help him. The ship would roll the assist as well, and then you would try to get your roll pulled off. We would say that if you met the difficulty hit, then you could also spend like 1 momentum to make sure you hit the second target as well if things go off course. So would you like to roll an assist now? Would you like to do that, or do you want to wait for your turn and try that separately as the next action you take? Because you're up next.
Actually, I could probably wait for that.
Okay. So then just going with the ship coming in to attack the Zimmerman. Actually, I forgot because Jean also boosted up the shields there. And with them doing their own difficulty increase on this extra attack, this would not be enough successes. I should have actually used momentum on that. I did not think that through before I made the roll. So the ship kind of rushes in, gets out of the battle to try to make their attack, but they overshot the mark. I guess is the thing. Gene, I gotta say bravo for distracting me from my battle tactics with that question. Didn't let me think about what I was supposed to do. But okay, they moved on, and now it's back to you and Gene. I think Gene or Locke, you both. Locke, you did not go, correct?
I have not gone, but Gene can go ahead and go.
Okay, so would you like to do that?
Yes, I would.
All right, so that's his plan. So it's his idea. So he's basically doing the targeting roll. Drake, you'll roll the assist on that. The only problem is with this massive multiple attacks, and he's not really the attacker, and you've already really attacked once yourself. You're just feeding this extra information that he's sending to you. This is going to be difficulty of 4 right now.
Use momentum. We keep forgetting.
Yeah. Momentum, or even generating threat in order to get those extra dice. So how much?
How much would you suggest? I'm going to defer over to Drake. Give him a nod. Sort of unspoken, sort of like he knows what he's.
Okay.
I'd say 1 threat and 2 momentum to get 2 extra dice.
Okay.
If that sounds good.
Okay, you're doing that. 1 threat and minus 2 momentum. Gene, your task roll is going to be, because you're targeting on the thing, control and security. You're just basically using your science computer to do a target lock on them. So that's going to be 11 for you. You got to roll 11 under. Drake, you're going to, of course, have your control and security as well. And
just a single task roll.
And the not DeGrasse Tyson, that's no longer with us, but the Zimmerman would be also rolling its security and weapons.
Okay.
And everything went blank on the thing again. What is happening on it? I think I might be
5 and 11.
5 and 11. You need 11 or less. So that is 2 successes for you.
2 from me.
2 for you. Got a single die to roll. How'd you do that? 2 for you. So that is the 4 successes you need, and the Zimmerman. Who's rolling for Zimmerman?
Come on, Lieutenant. Roll us something good.
It's
she rolled a complication.
She rolled a complication, but you got the 4 successes you needed, and you hit both ships at the same time. So, Gene, I need you to roll 2 plus your security since you're in the lead. So that's actually only 3 dice right now. 3 6-siders, that is, yes.
3 6-siders.
Oh, I did it again.
3.
I did it again. I just lost that whole image. I'm sorry if I'm watching this. What you get?
3.
3 total? Okay.
Yes.
And actually, 3 total finishes on the work track on that thing there. So while you keep pelting the large ship as it's arcing away from you from Drake's original hit, it's kind of pulling away in between, behind the Kir. The smaller ship, as it comes around, it didn't expect a torpedo blast because your attention was all focused and it missed. So the torpedo goes and strikes the smaller ship. Gene, would you like to narrate that thing exploding? How do you visualize that happening? Any cool spinning and screaming Wilhelm screams or anything?
Of course, Wilhelm screams. No, I just see, envision it as Drake pulls off his shot that simultaneously the torpedo from the aft fires and hits them unexpectedly, causing them to essentially do a little spiral, flaming spiral to the void.
And there they go, sparking off, nacelles out, they're out of the battle. And I'm going to say with the complication that you rolled onto that one, it's just the way the other ship, the larger ship, is going. It's in a pretty bad condition. So instead of that, I'm just banking 2 more threat at the moment for your complication. How's that? Okay, and because of that, actually, with that very successful shot and the fact that we got the work track down to 0, Lulk, I'm going to give you a free action against the ship as it's in a poor position because they had done so well on that idea.
Well, fire all weapons.
Man.
Who needs to repair a ship? Doesn't matter.
Okay, screw the repairs. We're firing all weapons. So that is what you're going to do. And you know what? Not even going to have you roll on this one since you finished off this pretty large work track on your own. So go ahead, finish off that ship, Chris.
You mean with? I don't need to roll. You just mean narrate.
Yeah, you could just cheer your way through.
So the although we're dead in the water, we still have our positioning small thrusters to spin the ship around and get a clear, direct shot at the larger ship, in which we unload or open up all of our weapons, and as a final unnecessary but celebratory shot, fire a torpedo to finish the large ship. And so the torpedo goes in at the same time as the phaser fire and detonates a large explosion.
There we go. And you took those out. You're a little battered, but you drove off the damaged ship that spiraled away, maybe blew up somewhere, as well as destroying the other 2. So pretty good fending it off. Klingons are cheering on the bridge. Everyone looks relieved on the Zimmerman. Everyone have a moment, have a scene for yourself.
The Klingons on my bridge are already exclaiming that they single-handedly took down 3 Dominion ships, and all glory to the Klingon Empire.
You hear that over the intercoms cheering.
Whilst on the Zimmerman were sat there on the bridge going, whew, good thing we managed to hold out while the Klingons went and hid for a while. But we don't pass that along because that would be a diplomatic issue and, you know.
At that moment, actually, since you gave me the 2 threat, I'm going to spend it right away. There's a beeping on your console. Drake. It's
look at it.
Priority 1 message. Priority 1 message. They are calling for reinforcements at coordinates not too far away. There's a massive skirmish going on with the Dominion, and they need as many ships as they can get. So they're calling.
I will pass this along to the captain, as well as send a communique over to the Kira to let them know that there is more battle for them, so fix your engines.
And Captain Henderson will also contact you, Locke, and ask you to join the combined fleet at the location.
Tell them that as soon as we finish repairing our engines, we will head in that direction.
Okay. All right. Quickly, I am going to jump back to the Delta Quadrant. One more scene for the Delta Quadrant there. So I don't know where the Voyager bridge is anymore. There we go. Voyager, welcome back. Okay. Back on Voyager. Let's do first. Let's say that while the bridge is monitoring the changing course of the Borg cube, let's look at engineering real quick, because you got to roll for the second step of this plan of yours, where you're trying to get the transporter able to hold 3 beings in the buffer. So this is going to be a difficulty 3 task as well. And it's also going to require your knowledge of engineering and reason, or possibly insight, depending on what kind of theories you're using for it.
I'll keep with reason,
Okay.
I think.
Okay.
And I have a focus of transporters and replicators.
That works.
So focus on. This one I do kind of need to get working, so I'll spend the 1 threat.
Okay.
And how many momentum do we have?
You have 2.
Ooh. Okay, player question to other players. Is it okay to spend that 2 momentum, or do you want that for the upcoming combat?
Well, it'd probably be good to get you here. I'm sure it'd be nice to have some more support fighting, but yeah, go for it.
All right.
Or 1 momentum, 2 threat. He's going to kill us anyway, so.
All right, so 1 threat, 2 momentum, and
Okay.
I'll have 4 dice, please.
Okay, you got 4 dice. Go ahead and roll that. Difficulty 3.
Here we go. Oh, okay. Any bonus from 7 or the ship, or I guess not the ship.
Basically, the bonus from 7 is what's keeping it down to difficulty 3 from 4. Her assistant's helping you. Can I see? Yeah, the ship itself isn't helping because the fact you're just working. You're basically manually building, not using ship system. 2, 4, 6. So that is good. You got 3 momentum back. So you're. How much? I'm sorry. You spent 2 momentum, right?
Yes, I spent 1 threat, 2 momentum.
So you're up to 3 momentum. I apologize. So you're up to there. Okay, and your calculations, you're working, stabilizing the transporter buffer is going swimmingly, we'll say. So it should be no issues there. But again, you're going to be working on this for a while, and I just need 1 little moment to find something here before I get back to the bridge. Okay. Let's see, where was it? Missing a page here. No, it's not that. There it is. There it is. Okay. We'll do that. Okay, so going back to the bridge. Where is the bridge, in fact? That's wrong folder. Bridge. So back to the bridge. Weber, you're keeping an eye on this, the Borg vessel, which has changed its course, and it's, again, the speed is not increasing. It's still steadily moving as it has been. However, it does appear to be going on an intercept course to where you are heading. So basically to the wormhole.
So they're not necessarily following us.
Not
looks like
necessarily.
they've spotted it themselves, and
Yeah.
Okay, pass that along to the captain, and can we say who will be there first?
You will definitely get there first. You will definitely
Yeah.
get there first at this rate.
And how much longer will we have then if the Borg doesn't accelerate?
Let's say here. Let's take a roll on that. We'll say you will have about you will maybe have about an hour to 2 hours at their current speed.
Mm-hmm. Which means that if we try to keep avoiding them and they won't see us, they'll probably give us plenty of time to finish our modifications, and yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, so I let the captain know, but I don't think there's anything we can do right now.
Okay. Meanwhile, I'm gonna say, oh, that's right. That's not right here. Sorry, I'm just trying to get things set up because I know we're running out of time here. Meanwhile, you start getting transmission. I guess that's the word I'm looking for. Transmission is coming in from the Borg vessel.
Directed to us? At us?
It would appear to be.
It looks like, sir, it looks like the Borg are hailing us.
What? They detected us?
Apparently, there's a transmission coming in.
What should I do?
Is there a way to open it? So it's a, they want to communicate, or is it a message they're sending to us? Is it something I can see now? So would it be possible to open it without them noticing we've seen it yet, or are they trying to communicate and waiting for an answer?
It would be one where you would have to if you acknowledge it, then they will know that you're answering it. So it's not.
Okay. So we can't just turn off the red notification and. Okay.
Yeah. Don't have that option there.
Yeah. Well, if I were the captain, sir, then I would open the communication.
He still looks a little uncertain. Says.
I mean, they have spotted us anyway, so whatever they're trying to do now, in the 1% chance that they are looking for some negotiation or peaceful outcome of all this, we should take it. Otherwise, they'll be on our tail and we are vastly outnumbered.
Okay, very well.
Should I put it on screen, sir?
He looks at you nervously. Is it?
That's what, if I were his captain, I would say on screen, sir.
Very well. Very well. On screen.
Okay. Yeah, so I put it on screen.
So you click, and for a moment you see on screen it's like the big, vast, empty Borg cube, and you hear voices speaking in unison. Voyager, we are the Borg. Lower your shields, cut your engines, and surrender your ship. Your vessel belongs to us. And then the screen changes to close in on one unit chosen to speak for the Borg, and elicits some unpleasant looks on the faces of the Doctor and Icheb. And stopping there for a second, we're going to have to leave Voyager for 1 second and getting back to quickly jumping back to the people on the Zimmerman, as it were. So back on the Zimmerman, after some time has passed, you do rendezvous with the fleet. If I know where the fleet is at. Hang on 1 second, trying to find the fleet area here. What is this? There we go. There we go. Joining on the fleet. Oh, I need that too. Wait 1 second. Like I said, just navigating this new Roll20 is so different. I kind of like it now. I'm kind of getting the hang of it, but not quite. But I'm slowly getting the hang of it. So hang on a second. That's not right. Oh, there we go. That looks, except for that part. Okay, go copy that. Some things they have streamlined, and I appreciate it. Other things they most certainly have not. Am I on the... Oh, I see what's wrong. Okay, and then I need to... Oh, see, this is one of the things I'm talking about here, where it almost made this easy, and now it's making it really hard for me to click on that. Just sit around, act like you know what's going on for 1 second, until I could get this thing to just... Okay, I don't get that. It's just flipping images randomly on my screen now, but that's okay. That's okay. We're cool. We're cool with it. It's no problem. And I want to flip this guy. There we go. All right. Can you see that screen yet? Or no, I'm not even on that screen yet for you. Okay, no. Apologies. Now I'll put you on the screen. Sorry. All right, so I think there it is. There we go. So Zimmerman, you arrive at this battle that is already in progress. I should say there's a lot going on. There are Klingon ships in the battle. There are Federation ships in the battle. And they are all flying around, battling against the Jem'Hadar vessels in quite a massive combat. Your ship is still a bit banged up as you come in. Captain Henderson yells, "Commander, report."
There are currently... Well, is that accurate that I'm seeing?
Roughly. Imagine there's more.
Okay. The battles are underway, Commander. There's a number of Jem'Hadar, well, Dominion ships intermingled with our Federation and Klingon allies. And we're still a little banged up from before.
All right. In that case, target the closest Dominion vessel. And let's bring us in. Doctor, do you have any advice?
As of yet, no. But I am on standby as you need me, sir.
Very well. Prepare for casualties to be coming in. I'm sure this is not going to go as easy as the others. Any word on the Kira? How much longer will they be?
I will contact Commander Lolk. Captain Lolk, sorry.
Okay, and as you reach down to open communications, you start getting weird readings on your display as well.
Captain, something weird seems to be happening here. One moment, and then I'll look into what's going on.
You can't really make out what it represents. It's like there was nothing there a moment ago, and then suddenly you're detecting something large, something massive, just appearing like right in immediate sensor range.
There appears to be something massive appearing out of nowhere. I'll see if I can get a visual on it, and then I'll try and get the however they view things from far away to look at that area.
And again, it turns out that it's not that far away. It's just suddenly popping into range. You turn on the screen, and we'll see if we could actually find it. And this massive vessel of sorts appears out of nowhere. And this giant energy beam just tears out the front of it, and all the vessels that are directly in front get obliterated. And we're going to obliterate them. So you see this energy beam come and just cut a swath, wiping out all the Federation and Klingon ships that were right in front of it in one go. Just burning them all to pieces. And we're going to stop at our commercial break
God
here.
damn it.
Because we're at 5 o'clock. But thank you. I want to put you all in
Moral danger.
Yeah, precarious predicament. So hopefully next time Krell will be back, and you'll have like a full crew, and you'll be able to jump into what you need to do and get through these dangers here. But thank you all for being part of this session. I'm going to stop the recording. We got our long commercial break coming up, and yeah, I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching. Bye.
Thanks, everyone.
See you.